Tributes have continued to pour in for late former Malian President Ibrahim Boubacar Keita, who was toppled in the August 2020 military coup led by Col Assimi Goita. Keita died at the age of 76 of an undisclosed illness. IBK, as is also fondly called, resigned and was detained by the Goita regime and was later freed and allowed to travel to the United Arab Emirates on several occasions for medical treatment.
Our chief researcher, Abdulatif Ahmed, now joins us for some insight on the late Ibrahim Boubacar Keita. Many thanks for joining us, Ibrahim. Can you bring us up to speed, Abdulatif, about Ibrahim Keita, who led Mali for 7 years before being toppled by a coup in 2020?
Thank you so much. It's a sad one that Mali has lost one of its illustrious sons at 76. Boubacar Keita was president. He was voted twice into office. However, he couldn't complete his second tenure in office because of rising insurgency, of floundering economy, and a lot of crises, inter-ethnic crises across the country. So protests greeted the country continuously for close to 3 months, and because of its poor handling of this security situation, the government was toppled. He was arrested. The prime minister also was arrested at that time. And that was about it. When he left office, about a month later, he suffered mild stroke, and he was essentially mostly ill after that incident. And since then, we've not heard much from him, and until now that his death was announced.
All right, Abdulatif, we also do know that he was allowed some time off to go and take care of his health, especially traveling to Dubai and then back again. But Keita was, if we recall, was elected in 2013 on a promise to bring peace and security after trying for a very long time since he was actually taken aback by the insecurity happening in the country. But let's take a look at his legacy. What will or would he be remembered for now that he is actually late?
So before he became president, he was seen as someone who had a good grasp of the economy. Don't forget, he did study literature. He was a good communicator. And while he was in government, before his election as president, he was handling distribution of funding from the EU. He was seen as someone who was sound in mind and sound in thoughts and directed in the right path. And until he became president, I mean, it was almost a unanimous support across the country that he was voted into office in 2013. However, the spate of killings and insecurity in northern Mali depleted his fortunes. It affected public perception about him. And that was, in spite of that, he was voted into office again, in 2018. However, because he tried as much as he could to ensure that the economy was revamped, to ensure that the country gets back into the path, the committee of nations, of nations directed in the right path, he handled the protest with soft hands. By that I mean that he did not rein in on the protesters in good time, because the issues that they were complaining about were not being addressed. Issues, for example, like corruption, and you see the mutiny in the army. So if you have a government that is in power and is unable to fix corruption, what it means is that it will be an all-takers affairs, and the military will be affected, the civil service will be affected. There will be no united front to move the country forward. So these are some of the issues that depleted his fortune as the president of Mali.
Right, Abdulatif. I mean, he had quite an impressive resume. This is someone who served as an ambassador to neighboring countries, including Ivory Coast. He was also a diplomatic advisor to the former president, Alpha Conore, and he was a prime minister and a National Assembly president. Now, he just died of an undisclosed illness that we are yet to be updated on. But has there been any update on his burial date so far?
There's none. There's a chance that the burial will not be delayed, considering Mali being a Muslim populated country, and most of the times burial arrangements are hastened up without much drama.
All right. Abdulateef, we know that Mali has been in the grip of a security and political crisis ever since the outbreak of the independence and jihadist insurgencies in 2012. And we keep tabs with you. So far, so good. And we look forward to hear more updates as this developing story of the sad death of IBK continues. Thank you so much, Abdulateef, for being here.
Thank you for having me.